Flying high together on a magic carpet ride.
Welcome to Leah's podcast. Okay. You have to put a little sound over every time we laugh because the laughing one's gonna be so annoying.
So have you been? Have you been, queen?
Okay, I was literally just talking to myself about this. I was on a walk, like a 15-minute long walk, and I was just had a lot of time to think and talk, and I was like, truly, I think I've been good. I've been oh, I'm so sad, I'm so this, I'm so that. Actually, it was Maya's Instagram post talking about a bad day isn't a bad life. Yeah. And I was like, actually, yeah. I'm up.
And actually, that's what's been hitting different as I've been getting I was gonna say older. And we're gonna hit on this later, but turning 20 and your brain unlocked.
Yeah, it changed my life.
Yeah, but I can have bad days now, and it doesn't bring me down because in general I'm good.
Yeah.
Actually, everything is perfect.
Life is actually beautiful, which is crazy because on most days I'm I'm gonna start crying. But if I zoom out, and we can touch on this later, but life has actually been pretty great.
I think we can touch on it now. Because I think that is such a big part of it being good right now is that, and I'm getting crazy notifications. Let me just
silence. Oh, you're just throwing it away. Okay, that works too.
A big part of it is just everything is good. I feel so much more solid than I did in the past. Even last year. How are you feeling?
I also feel that. Yeah. And it's because in my soul things are better. Maybe externally it's not. I'm missing classes, assignments. It's not as behind as it usually is. Okay, that sounds crazy. It's not as behind as it was last time I was down in the dumps. But assignments aren't that great. Things are kind of scattered, things are kind of chaotic, but in my heart of hearts, things are so nice. I feel more connected to myself. I feel very, very connected to my passions, and I feel I really I know what I stand for, and I wanna but it's gone beyond knowing what I stand for, and it's gone to actually putting it out in my life. And now I'm oh my god, I have a purpose.
No, I feel so real and solid and centered, and I love what I'm doing, and a bad day, I don't feel I guess empty anymore.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Wait, that's so good.
I'm full of life. Everything is okay, and I'm fine. And it's crazy because I feel we said that that's how we felt when we did the first episode. And if I reflect back to whenever we recorded that, January, February, whenever that was.
Don't ask me.
Yeah, I don't know. But no, I didn't feel like that back then, actually. I feel like that right now.
Well, I think it's because I don't know how full I am until I get that full. Mm-hmm. So I think genuinely in January, February, I thought that was as good as I was going to feel. And even though I still felt some gaps, I was oh, this is as good as the human experience gets. So yeah. I'm going to settle for it. I didn't think of it as settling back then, but that's what it was. But now that I feel more full and more fulfilled, I'm oh, the human experience is beautiful.
Yeah, I think it's that's the best that we had at the time, because we talked a lot about our journey from freshman year to that point last year, sophomore year, and so it was an upward journey. We were getting better and better and better, so obviously we were and this is the best we're ever gonna be.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I stopped thinking about it after that era. Did the 4 episodes about growth, I'm gonna change this, change that, I'm noticing all these things about myself. And then I just kind of stopped thinking about it and pushed self-help to, the background. And I've gotten better.
Yeah. I also did that, except no. So actually, what I'm trying to say is I didn't do that. No.
Me, but, the opposite.
Exactly. No, but this summer, I was, very in the forefront of how down it can be. Because I think after we recorded that episode, the rest of second semester was pretty, great. And then as summer began, I was oh. But actually, I think that's just was, the feelings of transition, which turning 20... Oh my god. Yeah. I have my brain was hair and it went because now a lot of the times when I'm everything sucks, I'm actually you were just in transition. But that's not even the point I was trying to make. What was the point?
But something unlocked and clicked at 20. It's like how people say they turn 25 and their entire life shifted because, like, frontal lobe.
Yeah.
That happened at 20.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, everything up there is different now.
Yeah. And it makes me excited for, like, 25. I also saw some things about 30. And I was like, it makes me excited because I feel like this is, like, genuinely the best it's going to get. And it's going to get better. I'm up.
No, that's, like, so beautiful. You said something earlier about, like, when things are so down and you're like, and then you're like, no, it's a transitional period. That's how I feel about every time, like, yesterday and the day before, where I'm like, it's a bad day, I physically can't get out of bed, instead of like, oh my god, we're, like, back to this. It's like, well, it's a day.
Yeah.
Like, and tomorrow the sun will shine again.
Yeah. And if tomorrow the sun doesn't shine, it'll shine eventually.
Yeah.
Because not only have I been through worse, I've also been through this exact situation. And now I have, like, hindsight. I usually don't have hindsight when I'm, like, down in the depths. I'm like, oh, this is how it's going to be forever. But now I genuinely have, like, oh, this happened before. I've been worse. I've been this way. And I've gotten out. And I will get out again.
Yeah, for me, I think my thing is always when I get back down again, I'm like, oh my god, I never got better. Like, we're back in the same spot again. But now I have, like, the third eye that's like, well, you got out before, and, like, even when you're down, there's good moments. Yeah. Like, oh, yesterday, can't get out of bed, having a bad day. Went to a workout class. Like.
And it was all better.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, and speaking about third eye, Bible study. I, like, a big part of it is low-key the Bible studies we've been doing. Oh, yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
My mom has always said that, like, no matter what happens, you have to, like, stick close to God because it centers you. And I was like, Mom, all you do is talk. But she was actually real. When I, like, went out, found it for myself, it wasn't, like, some kind of, like, obligation or some kind of, like, performance. And I was actually like, okay, let me see what I can find to actually, like, add to my life and make my life better and make me feel, you know, more whole. This whole, like, having Bible study with the girls, yeah, like, doing your own reflection, everything has genuinely centered me. And I think that's why I've, like, elevated to another
Yeah. Crazy enough, everyone who's been saying it forever was onto something. Like, and absolutely gagged.
And I'm never telling anyone that.
Yeah, no. Like.
Except for the
except for everybody ever.
Yeah.
But, like, no. Like, having a bad day reading the Bible helps. Gagged.
Yeah, that was crazy. Oh my gosh, we should tell our story. Did you tell the story on the pod?
That one night? No, I didn't tell that story.
Tell the story.
Oh, I tell story?
You can tell it.
Okay.
This is your pod.
Picture this, right? It's a late night, weeks and weeks ago, and we're having parallel breakdowns. I'm in here crying, listening to sad music, probably throwing things, I don't know, and she's in her room doing the same. We meet up to, like, talk about it, like, hey, how are you doing? And we're both like, well, we're doing awful. And we get to talking about, like, how we want to start doing Bible studies, and then Ro goes,
let's do Bible study.
And so we do. And I leave my depressed, sweaty bed. We go to her room. We sit down. We, like, do a Bible study. And it's the most, like, peace and calm that I had ever, like, had felt that whole week. I think it had just been, like, a very bad week. And that, like, I had never felt that calm before.
Yeah. And it was crazy because while we were, like, having our conversation of just, like, oh, I feel bad, I feel this, I feel that, we were, like, really guilting ourselves on, like, oh, I thought I was better, oh, I wanted to do this for self-help,
mm-hmm.
this for self-help, this for self-help. I didn't say that word right anytime. Anytime. That was crazy. But
and it's the thought that counts.
It is the thought that counts. As we were saying that, we, like, were like, pause, actually. Instead of being like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad that I haven't done it, the time is now.
Yeah.
Let's just do it.
And that was crazy to, like, actually sit down and do it, because we're very talk people, but for us to actually go do it and then continue it and, like, add more and more friends every night to, like, do a group Bible study together has been such a great change, a thing to hold on to. And it's so fun to gather with everyone.
Yeah.
Let's talk about summer.
All the way back. So this summer I was so, like, oh my gosh, everything's awful. for like the first month, maybe month and a half. And then, again, to your point, stopped thinking about it and then just started like doing things that are true to me that make me happy instead of things that should make me happy. So like a lot of time in my like self-care things, I'm like, okay, what does the research say that like makes people feel better, and there is truth to that and all of that, but you need to pick and choose for yourself. So for me, I was just like listening to music that reminded me of my mommy. Like I was listening to 80s music all the time, and doing that consistently, or like, you know, swimming more, which is all things that like the research has said, like music, exercise, eating better, all of those things. But I never tailored it to myself, which like I, one, stopped thinking about it. 2, actually started, like, not just talking, but actually doing. Number 3, like, tailored it to myself. And now, look at me now. Look at me now.
Summer was so, like, transformative in a way I was, like, kicking and screaming about, like, negatively. Like, I did not want to do that. I didn't want to go home again. I didn't want to, like, cut off from where because April was so beautiful here in campus. Like
the Instagram break.
Yup.
Need to do that again, I fear.
You literally can't make me. You have to pry Instagram from my cold dead hands.
That's the problem.
That is the problem. But like it was so beautiful and that was such a good month. And then like to like, okay, cold turkey, you're home alone for like 4 months. Pretty awful. And like I wanted to use it as a time for self-help and like get better and all of that. But I didn't like actively do it. I kind of just sat there and moped. I had an anxiety stomach ache for like a month and a half after getting home. Like every single day, tummy hurt, migraine, whatever. Until one day I was like, she's in love with her. But until one day I was like, actually, no. Yeah, literally July was when I was like, let's turn this thing around. So that's already was home for 2 months. But I did the same thing where I was like, if I want change, I have to go do it. Which was, hey, crazy thought. Like, what? And I was like, oh, I'm tired of sitting at home all day. So I started going out. And, like...
And it was that easy.
And it was that easy. But I, like, was holding myself back and...
But actually, it was that hard.
And it was. It was so hard. Like, the mental strength to, like, do that. I don't know. It took forever. But so it was beautiful. Until, like, I got right back in my, like, I have to get out of here. Like, a week or 2 before I left, so.
Well, that's the whole Jeremy Bear me of it all. And I, like, say Jeremy Bear me to myself in the mirror as, like, some kind of, like, motivational speech. Because healing is not linear.
That is what you... Okay, I was like, where is this going? I know Jeremy Bear me.
Because it, like, goes up eventually, but it's in, like, a Jeremy...
Yeah.
Bear me. You know what I mean?
the, like... What happens on the eye? The dot
that's another thing. Yeah. Okay, the other day, I was talking about how our friends, like, could all live together if we really locked in and tried, and I'll tell you how. I'm an education major. I'm running the school. We have a friend that's an architecture major. He's building the school. We have a friend that's in psychology. She's the school, like, counselor. We have a friend that's in med. The pediatrician. Oh, we have a couple friends in VCD. A couple friends in arts of the various kinds. And
VACD.
They can do the art classes / the promo for the school. So if we're really locked in, this could be beautiful, but no one's locked in.
Why is this like Riverdale? Like... And suddenly, 5 years after college, we all have to come back and be teachers.
Yeah. So we're back.
Oopsie.
So she hit me with the microphone so hard that the, like, cord came out and we had to start over recording. You're just lucky the file wasn't lost.
I was really scared for a second that we lost all of that gold. Like, anyway, let's, like, get to a point.
Let's, like, start talking about the actual stuff.
Let's, like, make a point. I don't know. Well, we are talking about the actual stuff, but, like, have we made a point?
I think we've made multiple points. We just don't know it yet. And that's how, like, genius we are.
I think you're right. And I think that we're so good at public speaking and we're such geniuses, modern day philosophers. So, turning 20 was monumental, as we've stated several times. The Disney short 20-something.
Yep.
Yeah. What? Okay. The Disney short 20-something. Don't even worry about it. We'll explain it. Changed my life. It was. You're gonna explain it.
Oopsie. So the Disney short 20-something. The Disney short 20-something is a Disney short called 20-something on Disney Plus, and it's about this girl who's turning 21, and her sister takes her to the club to have her first drink.
The club.
To have her first drink, and it's actually okay. The gag. It's 3 of her in a trench coat, like being like, "Oh, I'm 21. Actually, it's 10, 16, 3. And depending on like the situation, she like switches who's the head. So like when she crashed her car, the head was 16. When she like saw somebody else's like food and was like, "Oh, I gotta have that," it was the 5-year-old leading. And then most of the time it was the 10-year-old leading, because that was like how she felt during most of the short, thinking like, "Oh, I'm just pretending. Oh, I'm not actually grown. I'm not actually good enough." And that was her 10-year-old self. And that's the synopsis.
So, what 3 age? And we talked about this. We do this so often where we're watching something and we like pause, discuss. And so like we've talked about this before. Thoughts? But what 3 ages of you are in a trench coat pretending to be 20? And unlike last time, you can't say 20. Your 20-year-old self can't be in a trench coat pretending to be 20. Like, how does that come on?
Okay, now I like have to actually think about it, because number 1, 17, forever. For better and for worse, it's always gonna be 17 in that trench coat. I want to say the like I want to say like 7 to 8, because I can't remember the exact age, but whenever I was in like 2nd, 3rd grade, yeah. And then I'll say 12.
Well, that's 4 ages.
How much did I say?
Wait,
no. Like, okay, we'll say 7.
Cut the mic. I can't count.
No, you can't.
Actually, that's embarrassing. I was thinking about my numbers and I added it to your numbers.
So you might want to cut that out for your own good.
That was crazy. No, we all know I can't count.
This is an honest conversation.
This is an honest, open, unedited pod. That's a lie. Okay, my 3 ages in a trench coat pretending to be 20 are obvi 17. I think that 17 is such an important age for everybody. Like, that is a transitional age. 17, 5, and let's do something crazy. Probably like 13.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should we elaborate?
I don't want to be that open and honest, actually.
Yeah, I don't think I have to be. I'm gonna give 1-word responses. Okay. 7, I met my best friend. Shout out, bestie.
Wait, is it my best friend?
It's also your best friend.
Hey!
Anyway, she's tuned in to the pod like nobody else. Everybody else thinks they're tuned in. Mm-hmm. She's actually tuned in. Anyway, love her down, and that year like really taught me a lot about myself, and it's when I knew I wanted to be a teacher. 12, very formative year when it comes to like emotions and just a lot of the lower parts of my psyche, but that's okay, because I'm learning to love her more and more. And then 17, also lower parts of my psyche. But also, it's when I, like, learned a lot of my interests and what I, like, care about and how do I express myself is a lot of, like, 17-year-old me. So, that's what I'll say.
All right. I'll do it in backwards order. 17, literally best year of my life, except, like intrinsically best year ever. Everything outside was awful, but in my head, it's, like, the teenage dream, like, dancing. Like, I was on top of the world at 17. And so, that year, like, she's in there. She's getting... should be at the club. What did I say? 13. That was, like, a crazy year for me mentally. I mean, like, I think everyone's crazy when they're in middle school. But, like, that's definitely the, like, where I get a lot of my really negative trains of thoughts from. And then 5 is just because I feel like a little girl sometimes. And, like, not even in, like, a... I don't know, that sounded weird. Yeah, that sounded weird. But, like, I don't know. I feel like I just don't know things or like whatever, and that's 5-year-old me in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the like whole point of the short was like that's all okay. They're still in her, but like in her, I hardly know her. Sorry. I'm really sorry. You have to cut that out.
No, I'm leaving that.
Anyway, they're all like that's still who she is, and like when she looks in the mirror, that's who she sees. But she's not faking. She is 21. All her experiences make her who she is, and make her like grown and like experienced, and she's meant to be there. But that doesn't like take away from the fact that inside all those years are still you.
And that reminds me of, because, like, I feel like this year is very parallel for me to freshman year. Like, I'm not the same person I was, but it's somehow parallel, if that makes sense. And it reminds me of, and this is, like, you know those TikTok slideshows that are, like, a bunch of, like, quotes or whatever?
Hopecore!
Well, maybe Hopecore, but it's just, like, a bunch of quotes, and it's, like, the Scott Street feeling like a stranger. It was one that was, like, and I'm not gonna say it word for word, but it's like all of the past ages inside you are spiraled up, and that like like a spiral, and so that's why some of them feel closer together than others. Yeah, that's why really some like some are parallel, some are like
I like that. It reminds me of like I don't remember where I first saw it. I'm sure it was TikTok, but somebody was like, my birthday is not me like adding that age to like who I am. It's like the achievement of getting to that age. So you're celebrating like 20. I'm celebrating 20 years. I'm not like, it's not like a separate thing like, oh, I'm 20. Like it's a separate thing. I'm celebrating that I've been 14, 15, 16, 17, and I'm 20 now.
That is so cute.
Yeah, I think about that a lot.
Oh, I think about the quote that's like, I don't even think it's a quote. It's like a Pinterest picture of like a girl in a flower field, like a young girl, and it's like, I carry her inside of me.
Wait, the TikTok thing, you're not going to get it because you're off TikTok, but actually, maybe I shouldn't say it because it's very much middle school humor.
Go ahead. I mean, it's who you are. It's who you are.
It's who you are. In that camo shirt, you can't make it.
It's who you are.
Anyway, it's like, mama, a girl behind you, a woman in front of you.
What?
And we're going to leave it there.
What?
That's regulating.
And I love not understanding TikTok things. Like, and I said TikTok earlier, I meant, like, Instagram Reels. It's just that, it's like how whenever you get food delivered, the verb is DoorDash. Like, TikTok's the verb, but...
It's like when we say we don't say quick share, airdrop.
We airdrop, but it's quick share.
Yeah.
But, like, I've been off of TikTok since March.
Period!
Once in a while, I log in on my iPad so that I can... And cut it. Actually done.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What I want to do is revisit our old episodes just because it actually has not been so long, but it's been like long in my head. Like I'm different.
About us is time moves very slowly.
Yeah.
We're slowly. I feel like
fast?
Slow? Chat, comment below. Is it fast or slow? That even though it's been like
slow.
A semester, it's been a year.
It's slow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think it's because we live so close together. We're in this very like information heavy time in our lives where we're like finding stuff out and applying it and finding stuff out and applying it and so it makes everything feel. Are you looking at this?
It's actually been 8 months, which is like
counting on your fingers.
What?
I thought you were like, I can't feel my fingers. You were counting.
Yeah.
All right.
How else do you count?
Sorry, that was mean.
You should call me
later and be like,
listen to this later and be like, I hate bro. We're never living together again. No, it's been 8 months, so actually it's like that's almost a year.
That is
ish, whatever. Anyway.
I can't make a Taylor Swift reference actually.
Now you know that I like her. You know that.
Give it 10 months and you'll be past it.
I love that song.
I think about that every single day because genuinely give it 10 months and I'll be past it.
10 months sober,
I must admit. Cut it. I'm not that open with
put
myself.
your like guns down, but I stream Taylor Swift sometimes. Put the guns down.
This is the thing. I think Taylor Swift is so important to like public experience. You know what I mean?
I think she makes a bop once in a while, but like I think that her as a person, like I think that her arc is really cool. Like she's been in the industry for so long and like the whole like re-recordings, whatever. But does she get on my nerves sometimes? Maybe, but I'm not gonna hate like a man.
That's true. You can't ever hate like a man. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, I do have my qualms with her. But the other day, when I was home, my little sister was having a sleepover, and her girls are listening to like the Speak Now album. So they're listening to like Back to December. They're listening to the core hits, and they're dancing around and they're jumping on the bed, and I'm just like this is what I did. Like this is so important to just like the public consciousness. Like every little girl needs to have a slumber party where they like dance around to Taylor Swift.
And I think that she makes like, and hey, the whole like girlhood summer, shut up, shut up, girl math, girl don't, shut up.
I thought we were hating like a man.
I'm hating like a woman. Like,
all right,
fine. But Taylor Swift music is girlhood, so I don't like whatever. What was I hitting at? Oh, right. We're revisiting our old conversation. And...
You know I don't have a memory.
Well, do you remember how much Everything I Know About Love, the book, changed our lives?
Yes.
We talked about it so heavily in episode 1. That was actually, like, the framework of, like, the entire conversation. And I went through... And my iPod's over there, so I guess we won't see the quotes. So...
No, you will. I'll sing to them. One day it'll all pass, and maybe that day's today, and tomorrow it won't, but that's okay, because you're the girl. Trademark. Actually, stream Mittens Come Back to Me by Roro the Boat. Link in description. If it gets 100,000 streams, I'll release number 2 of Mittens Come Back to Me, called Doggy Run to the Bone. And I'll give you a little like snippet. Doggy run to the bone. Run, doggy run to the bone. And that's it.
Cut the mic.
You're like grabbing it.
No, stop. All right. We talked about 3 chapters from Everything I Know About Love, My Therapist Says, Enough, and Heartbreak Hotel. And did I look back through all of them? No, because actually, crazy how much this changed my life back then and how much I don't relate to it now. Because, like, you can't see the screen. It's like, the lighting is not going to work.
It's crazy
annotated, but it's stuff like, we talked about this in the last one, so I can be open and honest again. But it's like, where Dolly Alderton is opening up to her therapist about, like, her inability to commit in relationships and, like, giving energy to other people, and, like, she has no sense of self. And, like, I highlighted it because it was so, like, oh my gosh, this is so me, like, I have these issues, whatever. That's not, I don't get it anymore. Like, it actually doesn't cut at all. I don't get it.
That's so beautiful. I also agree. I know who I am down. Actually, I don't know who I am down, but I know who I am up. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Stop, I'm joking. Please.
And the crowd goes, boo.
Please, you don't understand my niche humor.
Well, and I think I do know who I am down.
Down.
Guys, I'm getting worked up.
Well, this is my thing. I no longer believe that there's, like, a cap. I think I'm going to continue knowing myself. And I think that's what I meant.
I think that, like, I thought knowing yourself meant fitting into, like, a box or, like, you know those, the Instagram story things that are, like, about me, favorite this. Or yeah. I thought that's what knowing yourself meant. And not, like, I don't know, being, like, centered and whole and, like, I don't know how to, guys, tap in, you.
Me? Don't even worry, I'll talk about it. So, I think I know myself in the way that, like, I can trust myself more and I can feel like sure in my decisions and not beat myself up so much about like, oh, should I have done this, should I have done that, because like I don't really know what I want. But I think I know that more now, and I trust myself that even if I'm not 100% sure, that I did the best I could at the time and that it will all work out in the end. Also because of like studying the Bible and stuff like that, and how I rely more on knowing God in like communion with knowing myself, instead of just being like trusting, like having to trust myself and having to this and having to that. I'm like, okay, in trusting myself, I'm also like trusting that the promises God has like made to me, and that he loves and, you know, trusts me and guides me, and it's not all of my work. So I don't know, it helps me a little bit. I just feel more calm. I feel less stressed out, less anxiety. Do you want to say something? You talk now. No,
yeah,
I'm kidding.
okay, me tapping. No, real, because
that was it. No, real.
And QRST, because
She's been saving that one.
And I've been saving that one down. Yeah.
I'm thinking about how hungry I am, actually.
I'm thinking about how I have a workout class in like 20 minutes and my clothes are in the wash.
Oh, maybe we should have a point. Maybe we should hit any point.
Yeah. My point is this was a check-in from the self-care episode.
We didn't hit
Gosh,
anything.
I hope that that's what the episode was called. I actually don't remember anymore. But I want to check in and see how we're doing now. And I think the consensus is better, way better. Oh my gosh, so much better. And it's because of God.
Yeah. That was really good.
Any closing thoughts?
I think I should rewatch this when I'm down in the dumps, because this is like sounding very like, oh, actually, I have no problems ever. And I do think that I will become the person in the first episode again. I think that even if I don't become that person again, I can go back on that road. And I think if I watch something like this where I'm like, everything's beautiful, everything's fine, everything's this, everything's that, and I genuinely know that at that time I felt that way, I'll trust more to know that I will again.
That's like the whole premise behind the pod. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's because it's just this very like, this is for me to watch later. This is like Diary of Our 20s, yeah. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Dork Diaries.
Okay, I never read Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Me neither!
I was only tuned into Dork Diaries.
I actually didn't read that either.
Oh, so you're not a girl.
Alright. I read the, now what were the comic book ones where she like roller skates? And don't say what your first thought is.
Beavis and Beavis?
No, like it was
Dork Diaries?
No.
Daredevil Diaries?
No.
Oh, Beavis and Beavis.
No.
Oh my God.
Wait, girl. Hey, you hold the mic while I type.
Okay, I'll make more guesses. Was it the one where Selena Gomez? Well, that's also Beavis and Beavis. Was it Judy Moody?
Girl, it's called Roller Girl. Like.
Oh, that's actually crazy. It's literally called Roller Girl.
It's called Roller Girl. It's a graphic novel. I think there's like several. I don't know. And she like is outside, meets a friend. She's like roller skating by. She's like, oh, she's so cool. They like become besties. She like dyes her like the other girl dyes her hair blue, and they're like, let's join a roller derby. Oh, and that's how I learned what roller derbies were. And picture this, they're like 12 like fighting to the death in a roller rink.
Damn. I read one that was like, I thought it was so cool because I read one, I forgot what it was called, but it was about dudes like telling jokes. And I was like, I'm so cool. Imagine this. I'm 12 years old being like, y'all are reading Dork Diaries. I'm reading men telling jokes.
That's really good. That was really good.
And then also, when the next generation came up and my little sister was reading the Underpants, and I was like, this is so lame. This is so boring. I was tuned in.
My mommy wouldn't let me read Captain Underpants. Because it's actually,
Underpants.
I think because it was stupid, maybe, or it was inappropriate. I don't know.
It was Underpants.
It was Underpants. That's yucky.
Yeah, but the movie Eats. Actually, I don't know if the movie Eats. I just remember I had fun watching it with my sisters. Don't come for me.
Oh, I thought it was beautiful. That makes everything better.
Yeah.
And I think we're gonna cut it. Have a great
Actually, don't keep that in.
rest of your day. This has been from LIA with Love and with Ro. Fly and high together on a magic carpet ride. That's gonna be the outro.